Hey folks, Dr. Mike here, and apparently I'm an exercise scientist, and apparently I have 5 favorite tricep exercises that are guaranteed, not really, to make you huge. Results may vary. Forms and conditions apply. Link in the description. All right, folks, the first exercise that we have is one of my all-time faves. And unfortunately, I can't do it anymore because I got some combination of too jacked and too immobile to be able to do it. Maybe because I'm old and it's just all circling the drain. The Easy Bar Overhead Tricep Extension. You'll notice that a lot of really jacked guys and pro bodybuilders don't really do this, probably also because they don't have the mobility anymore. But if you have the mobility, this is just one of the best tricep exercises you can ever do. But why? One, it's very stable. You can do it standing, you can do it seated. You have a barbell, everything is super solid. Get your feet connected to the ground. You can produce a ton of force through your triceps. Another huge benefit is you get a massive, massive stretch at the bottom because your elbow is sky high and your triceps are pulled all the way up. You're pre-stretching the long head of your tricep, which means this trains all 3 heads of your triceps to a huge extent. Something like pushdowns and skull crushers might leave the long head lagging just a little bit. And since everyone's obsessed with the long head of the triceps, to be completely frank with you, I don't even know what the other 2 heads are called. Though I've got a head for you, you know what I mean. That was funny. It's a great exercise. A couple of really awesome cues on this. You're gonna wanna keep your elbows in at least on the way down. On the way up, it's totally fine. This keeps the delts from being involved too much and keeps the tension on the triceps. If you're more comfortable with the flare, it's totally fine to flare. A slow, controlled eccentric. And on the bottom, you have a choice. You can get the long head a ton by really stretching back and keeping the elbows vertical at the top. Or you can let the elbows come down a little bit, touch much closer to the sort of upper part of the back of your neck, and get all 3 heads going and get a major, major stretch and the highest tension at the stretch. No wrong answers, just variations. I highly recommend this for sets of 10 to 15 to even 20 repetitions. What I find is that for sets of 20 plus, your musculature that's used to stabilize, like your shoulders and your traps, is just gonna cook, even if your triceps aren't even ready to cook yet. It's just gonna really fatigue it, make the technique really hard. If you're doing sets of 5 to 10, it can be done, but you need a buddy to get the barbell up for you or something like that, because cleaning and overhead pressing and then getting into this exercise was your 8 rep max is kind of a tough thing. Sets of 10 to 20, this exercise is cash money. And I mean that literally. If you do really good technique sets, gnomes will appear out of nowhere and issue you hard US currency. What more can you ask for? Are the bills fake? Yeah, they're fake. The gnomes aren't associated with the actual US government, but good news, you're also diluting the money supply and technically stealing from everyone else at the same time. Folks, my next also favorite tricep exercise from mega slabs of gains. I guess the thumbnails and titles don't just come directly from anything I say, so I gotta stop trying to embellish. Here's the thing. The Barbell Skullcrusher can be done with an Easy Bar. It can be done with a Smith machine. It can be done with a regular barbell and everything in between. The positioning at the top is more important than where you end up at the bottom, which I've said in many a nightclub. What you wanna do is make sure that you're unlocking with your elbows pointing towards your hips. The first unlock points your elbows this way. Where you go after that, the triceps take a ton of attention. You can do a skull crusher to touch all the way behind your neck on the bench. You can touch the top of your forehead. You can touch the bridge of your nose, the tip of your nose. You could kiss the bar a little bit, though technically speaking, I would never do that at gyms. Google what MRSA looks like on someone's face. You're gonna wanna do that on a private browser. You can touch your chin, and you can even go super bonus points if you've got a spotter that you trust to go all the way down to the neck. That gives you a huge deficit. Elbows stay in on the way down. On the way up, it doesn't matter a ton. Try not to just press it up, but if you have to for a few reps, that's really awesome. And for an extra super boost, Combine every set of these skull crushers that you do with a quick movement to a set close to failure of close grip presses. Come all the way down with those, elbows flush, only 2/3 of the way up, cooked city. Is that fun? Is that how cool kids say it? Anyway, that's the exercise. All right, my next, also awesome, also favorite, also tricep exercise is the cable pushdown. Yeah, the cable pushdown is like the sloppy Joe at lunchtime in public school of exercises. No one gets super excited about it. Every Friday, you gotta do it. Salisbury steak. Scott, you ever had Salisbury steak back in the day? Max, Salisbury steak? Young, rich-ass kids. Listen, when Scott and I grew up, we weren't even allowed to grow up. It was Salisbury steak every fucking meal, but it was awesome. Just like the tricep pushdown. Yeah, it's regular, but with the twist. So check this out. Most folks will do their pushdowns by starting up here and coming all the way down and then coming all the way back up. And there's not a damn thing wrong with that. But what I like to do is put as much tension on the tricep and the stretch as possible. And so for me, I'm trying to get real close to the device. I want my elbows to be behind me and scoot further back the further I go up. So it's not an extension, which would be here. Notice my elbows are relatively static and my wrists and forearms arc. No. This is going to be an almost straight line, which is why it's called a pushdown and not a cable tricep extension, because the elbows go up and back, but the bar stays flush. As soon as your biceps and forearms are touching, come back down, elbows go back, and you come back down. The bar stays in a straight line, your elbows stay flush to your body, and you come back down. And what I like to do is go up nice and slow and controlled, pause for that deep, painful, annoying stretch. Try not to cave in. Try to keep your chest up so that it actually stays out of the movement and it's basically only triceps. Push down nice and quick and then come back up slow. Another variation you can try is the same exercise, but you push only about 3/4 of the way down, maybe 2/3, keeping the tension in the triceps, coming back up for a pause, keep the tension, back up in the pause, only 2/3 down, back up. This is brutal and terrible. And if you're a real masochist like me, what you can do is you can do these 2/3 reps until you're almost failing. And then you can lock out the last one, take your shoulders, lean them over the bar, lock out completely. Now it's bone on bone action, which isn't bad for you. You're not that fragile. Your triceps get a bit of a break. And then when you're ready to go again, you lean back and cook a few more reps of 2/3. When you're really gassed out and you can't do them anymore, lock out, lean over, wiggle, check, see if anyone's checking you out. What's up? Yeah, it's me. No, I'm good. Too much staring, the cops get called, and you're back to pretending it was just about exercise this whole time and not about your restraining order. Number 4 of my favorite tricep exercises is the behind the neck single arm dumbbell extension. Now you can do this with cables. If you did it with a barbell, I would be very impressed. The thing is, yes, behind the neck extensions with cables and with barbells are awesome when it's 2-arm. But sometimes it means a lot of spinal strains, you got a lot of weight up there, you got to balance and stuff. And some people prefer a little bit more of a deep stretch and a little bit more mind-muscle connection with one arm at a time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a dumbbell, and Max, the editor boy, who is the demonstrator in all these videos, is going to reach all the way back to touch the middle part of his middle back. Not even upper, middle, that's the goal. I want you guys to feel this crazy stretch and tension in the triceps. How you hold a dumbbell doesn't matter a ton, but I do prefer the neutral grip because with a lot of our pressing, we're doing that overhand grip, which is awesome. That's probably more power. The neutral grip does realign a little bit of what tricep heads contribute It's a novel stimulus, it's variation, it's something fun, and it works ultra, ultra well. Go light at first with these. A lot of times, because you can do a lot of eccentric control and really take the reps through a super range of motion, you only have to do 10 to 15 reps per arm, per set, in order to get an awesome stimulus. If you go for 20, the exercise takes so damn long, the stability ends up screwing you over. Sets of 10 to 15 are wonderful here. Again, control that eccentric. You don't have to come to a lockout every time, going up 2/3 of the way, and then controlling that eccentric with a deep pause at the bottom. That'll cook that ass. All right, folks, my last but not least favorite tricep exercise is the low incline dumbbell skull crusher, but aha, with a twist. So you just twist your whole body. Nope, not a twist like that. You're gonna come down with the dumbbells in a neutral grip, and you're gonna go straight down to get as deep below your shoulders as possible for that extra crazy stretch, letting your elbows come back and up towards your head. From that position, it's difficult to restart. So it's gonna be a very heavy controlled eccentric. We're gonna make it easier on the way up by you tilting your elbows forward and then doing a JM press style extension, and then back again for that skull crusher super arc ultra deep. So it combines an arc deep on the eccentric, rotation of the elbow to get a better angle, and then a press up. It's gonna let you go really close and beyond failure in some sense to triceps, because when you have 0 reps concentrically available from this weird bottom position, you tilt the elbow and keep pushing. Phenomenal exercise. I highly recommend you try it. And it's a great shoulder mobilizer too, and I think that's popular nowadays because mobility is cool or whatever. Yeah, get you some of that as well. Folks, that's all, folks. That's Ronnie Coleman quoting a Looney Tunes character. How's that for an austere reference? Anyway, tricep extensions of various kinds, all the tricep movements. There are way more tricep exercises that are awesome. A lot of them are compound and involve the chest and shoulders a bit more. Here I was trying to show you guys a little bit more isolation stuff. Are any of these specifically magical movements that are special and the best? No. There are 5 of some of my favorites that I really like to do. I found that they give great results. I would urge you to try a ton of other exercises. Ones we never mention on the channel. There's tons of other amazing folks out there producing awesome content. Go try their stuff too. Try everything you can. Remember, if you feel the tension in the muscle a ton, if you get crazy pumps, if you get sore afterwards, it's probably a good exercise, especially if it doesn't hurt your joints. And like my, old man, my dad, IFBB pro Jared Feather likes to say, "Now, you better go to wrestling practice after you finish your homework, god damn it." I don't know why I had a flashback to that, but I had a tough childhood. Just trying to extend those memories out of my head. Folks, I wish you 2 things, big triceps and happiness. So really it's just one. As soon as you have big triceps, happiness is guaranteed. I've been Dr. Mike, and I'll see you guys, what do I usually say after this? Next time.